Gilberto Rosado for Traffic Multiplex, and today we're going to look at some site and Flippa.com in our new series I should add, on site reviews. We're going to use sites that are for sale on Flipper.com primarily, and we will be adding Webperion.com soon. And so what we're doing is we're examining sites. The purpose of the series is going to be your playlist here. Is we're going to do some research on these sites, analyze them, and show you the pros and cons about having this site and purchasing a site, either the one that we show you, or one similar to that. And suggested improvements. Maybe you have a site just like that, the one we're going to show you, and you can get some benefit from hearing the analysis of the site. Many sites are beginner sites, and since most of you have traffic issues and problems like that, I decided to take a look at these small offerings, and where most of the sites either represent a new site that's being auctioned off at Flippa, or most of your sites that are not being auctioned off. This is in a similar boat. Okay, so let's go there now. This is a site at Flippa. I'm going to remove this screen. I'm sorry, that's the wrong screen. This is what we're looking for here. We're going to look at this site here in Flipper, and what we're going to do, we're going to just look at this. This is at Flipper.com, and the site is called CoffeeStuffs.com. Now, the first thing I always like to address is domain names, or I should say our domain names. And the word stuff, it's just for you guys out there, doing domain names and stuff. The use of the word stuff isn't really good. It doesn't give a good impression. And okay, well, we're going to talk about, I'm from the perception of an American, someone that speaks and reads at a decent level or above, more so than the normal person. Stuff, you're trying to sell things, you sell stuff. Can you imagine going to a door, knocking on someone's door, and say, "I got stuff to sell. You want some stuff?" It's just so. It doesn't sound professional. It doesn't sound serious. When I see stuffs like that in a domain, that's not stuffed animal, stuff like that. It's very specific. It's not someplace I would buy from, simply. So my biggest distractor of this site is its domain name, first, right off the bat. So that's the one unfortunate problem with this domain name. We're going to click on it and hopefully open up a window there. Let's see. I don't see anything open up. Okay, that's a new window. And so here we go to coffee products and stuffs. And also, this is another thing. I usually, this is not a set in stone type of thing I'm going to say now. But I usually try to stay with the name as much as possible. Now you have coffee products and stuffs in your name here. It's definitely not branding. This person is not trying to brand and I would try to brand. Meaning, what is branding? See, branding would have solved the problem this person's having. Uh, Other than the fact that he may be going after a keyword of coffee and stuff. It could be some searches for that. And I'm not going to go into that depth analysis in that way, keyword search, to see if that was done, and that's the reason why he chose coffee stuffs. But outside of that, if you're planning on buying a site like this on Flippa, you really need to do a keyword search to see what the domain came from. At least you should buy a keyword that makes sense, and there's so many searches per month on those keywords, coffee stuffs. Then hey, yeah, then you can take it and do something. At least there's something. There are searches for coffee stuffs. At least you can go after that market there. But outside of that, I would have branded the site, made the domain the brand name. There's things that could have been done here. And again, um, I'm not going to, I have not prepared anything in terms to have this discussion here, but there could have been things done to this domain name and done to brand it better, uh, just to make a brand around it, and you could have created value that way as well, and just let the keyword, if you're doing any keyword research at all, have it with the different posts that we're going to talk about later. Okay, so basically here you got the site. It's a decent template. Has this feature as you scroll down. It has the feature of the logo being up here all the time. That's a good thing. I like the site like that. I like that part of this site. It has these Amazon things right out here. I'm sorry, not the ads by Amazon. You can see it's the applicable ad by Amazon on the home page. Again, this is what this person decided to do. Uh, it may work. I really don't. I wouldn't do it, and it may work. If you have knowledge that indeed works, then that's okay. But it's not something that I would have done. And then that doesn't mean anything. But I like the feature here down on the bottom. This is nice. He put this in the bottom. It's usually something we see on the top. This is easily a plugin that does this. It's a slider plugin, that does this horizontal type of a slider. And I think it has great effect here on the bottom. Yeah, I think it gives it some level of sophistication actually, because it's coffee. The coffee is something that should be raised to the level like a fine wine. Really, it's the coffee lovers have so much appreciation for coffee, and if you look at the graphics, I mean, even the pictures, they almost give you the feeling of wine and cheese. If you notice the way the pictures, it's usually, these are like your typical food type of picture, where it's almost like it has like a little haze to it, just very slight, almost not noticeable. You got the sheen in these I forget what they call this, trowels or something like that. And the different color beans there. I mean, it has that nice look. It has like quality. You can almost smell the coffee now, Coffee has similar things to wine in the sense that it's something that you go by taste and by aroma. In wine, you have that also. You're looking for that um, uh, that that smell in it, the nice aroma to it, and I think they call it in wine. You have that bouquet. You're looking to, and then you're tasting the wine. There's coffee tasting. There's wine tasting. In other words, so it has a similar attitude. There's a perception about coffee that's almost the same as with wine. That coffees have, there's qualities to coffees and things of that nature. So you want to treat coffee as a quality beverage, a luxury, even a luxury beverage. And the people that usually buy online are people that are looking for a little bit of that luxurious to luxury accessories for their coffee drinking. You're not gonna get your regular, down home typical coffee drinker, happy with the Dunkin' Donuts coffee. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying, if they're a McDonald's coffee drinker and Dunkin' Donuts drinker, this is not really. They're not looking to have this fine coffee when at home because they're on the road most of the time. They really don't have the time. They're not into coffee at that level. They would if they had the time. Not that they're not sophisticated, but it's just simply they don't have the time. But this is again, it's dealing with people who have the time or someone that makes the time. They may have servants, right, to that have the time then to prepare the coffee and make it special. And this is something obviously for that connoisseur of coffee participation. We'll call it that. Okay, so outside of that, you have um, good features. He set it up okay. Perfect machines, worldwide delivery because he's leveraging on Amazon. And it says to enjoy the best coffee. I think, sorry, let me just check that. Yeah, it's misspelling. He left out the last E there. So again, nothing that the owner couldn't fix, but it's like what I'm saying. If you're thinking that this website has some preset intelligence to it, it may have, but the spelling is lacking. So it's I just give it a little notch on that. That was a careless mistake here. But again, you're designing websites, a lot of things to do. Okay, so they got coffee here. What we're going to look at is basically the way he has everything displayed. You have a basic grid design here, grid displays for different coffee stuffs. Again, when you hit coffee here, and all you're getting is these things that would not be necessarily bought. When you think about coffee, you expect to see, and now you get the Dunkin' Donuts fold. You see, there's no care in selecting. Just look at the difference between that and the home page. When you look at the home page, you would never imagine that this is coming next. You see, is this a total mismatch? So what are we looking for? Higher higher level of coffee buyers here, coffee aficionado, or are we just laying out anything that comes out of Amazon? So that's the little thing also that we noticed here. And since I do a lot of Amazon websites, I know exactly what have you. Just put in, you feed it, and then whatever pops in, pops in. But when you're dealing with, if you're planning on buying a website like this or building one yourself, you need to have some consistency between, especially the home page, the domain name, and then, the sections or categories. You really need to be more selective. You just can't feed it in feed the niche or the keywords into an Amazon product search and just dump anything that pops in and just dump it there, because it really should have some order, some balance, okay? Because personally, this coffee category is offensive to me, right? You had me hoping with this, except for the typo, but then when I go here, I mean, and then it said coffee stuffs. Now I'm reminded, oh, it's stuffs. That's why this is. You see, so this is to me, it's a problem. I'm just pointing out for you guys so that you guys can be more informed. I would definitely rearrange that, and then we get these products. They're laid a little bit indiscriminately. Let me look at something here. Okay. And I like the grid thing here. Now the grid thing here, although it's showing you a nice clean design, there's things like if you can set this up where you can have a branding of the way it is laid out. In terms of, if you think Instagram, those of you who know Instagram and know how well a page can be set up to look, some people have certain setup. It would be like an all white, except it's not all white with this one. And of course, it's hard to have to get an all white background for some of the products. I understand that. But, before you select certain type of product, you can make sure that it has that white background. If not, I would categorize this in another area and just leave all these white. Appears to me that you're getting, at least in this category, it's getting a lot of white background product, and it looks nice. It really does look well. It looks nice with the way the site is, very clean. And again, this raises the level again back to a higher class, if you will, you expect me to spend $200 here. See, it should look like the site is worthy. And then you have these small items here. Small items are good, but again, we're looking at presentation. So you can always have the small item as other things you might be interested in. You can always have it in a sidebar, but to have it like as one of the main products here, again, my thinking is more selective, and then they can look for the small stuff. You can have a category under $50 or whatever. You can have those categories. You can add a category here for under $50. I know one plugin, Amazon plugin, will find you products within a certain range, and you can do it that way. People who are on a budget, who are really looking for an inexpensive solution, they'll go look there. And it's simple, and it's very nice and okay and appropriate. But to put it here, you're just trying to be everything for everyone. I mean, you shouldn't. You really should be defining who your buyer is, who you're trying to attract, and you have the other levels for the other ones who are also interested but not that dedicated when it comes to the money. I'm going to click on this, and just to see how that is laid out for you, so you can see it. So this is all what the theme does. You see that the picture is pixelated. Again, it doesn't, you lose quality. It loses the quality image that the site is trying to portray. So that is something, the plugin that's being used to generate this layout is, again, has to use what Amazon sends out, and it makes the picture a little large. So you may, that's again something for a designer to think about. In your category, if you're trying for the high ticket item, it's not a game breaker. It's not a deal breaker, I should say, but it takes a little bit away from your image. Again, we're trying to brand. This doesn't look like a store or a big store would have an image that's pixelated like that. People, you're trying to sell this to somebody, show them a good quality picture. So if I were doing this website, I would look for a better picture, high quality, that will look good, and have that in that spot. It's a primary spot there, important spot. You need to put something that looks worth $139. It's just plain and simple. Don't complain. You don't sell any of these. You're trying to get a website. You're spending the price for this website on Flipper is $99. It's still $99. And you're trying to do something. You're trying to sell something, make some money. You gotta get a better pictures. So that's one thing. If you're a website designer, think about that. Check your design. Look for the quality. Remember, looking for the market that you're trying to attract, and this is what you inform your potential buyers. They make it to see the difference between this site and someone else's. If you see quality picture, and then you got this guy with this. The one who's going to spend the money wants to make his money back. This is a challenge, okay? So that's just to give you an example there. Coffee scoops, that was the name of it, I think, of the big ones, right? Let me see if they got the big one here. They got they call them scoops. So they got scoops here again. You got the coffee maker, then you're going to the scoops. You have the espresso machines all the way down there. So I don't see where the thinking was on that one. Again, the white background is very nice. You got to admit that the white background on the product is good. This is great if you can make sure you match. If you need to be able to control the order in which the products show up. That's one thing. I know that most of the plugins, the Amazon plugins, just lay it out in terms of posts, and they're laid out here. WordPress lays out the posts according to the publishing date. So the way it was fed into WordPress. I understand that, but there's also plugins that can rearrange the order. So I would look for that plugin to rearrange the order, and take note of those that are not white background like that, and push them off the front category page. You see, it says display the 15. So at least that. I would even knock them down below the 30 products page, because most people will do the 15, but then they'll go to the 30 products page, and there is no 30 products here in this category, so there's no expansion to it. And you see that that's the only machine that has a gray background, and so I would have looked for another machine and put a white background on it, or simply taken this and gone through the trouble of making it, cutting out that back portion there, and then reposting this, adding that back into its featured picture. I would go through the trouble, because that's $449, and making it look like the others in terms of the same style, I think is a good thing. And at $449, it should be it should be a nice addition to this page. If there were others that had that gray background like that, then it'll be fine. You do the pepper effect. You skip one and type of thing, one gray, one white, one gray, one white, and something like that. Or even all of these grays on this side, and then the whites on that side. I know that a lot of the plugins are automatic drip. They add content, so you really can't keep that going like that for automated type of arrangements. But you can always go back in there and fix that up and just brand it and give yourself like the brand that all the products on the right side have a gray background, for example, or what have you, or just add it to it. Even if it was, say, any one of these products, I would add a gray, you can add like a gray ending frame here, just in this corner, and just make everything in the corner have that gray ending or any color, just that fits with the site. Here's coffee, so give it that coffee color here in the back, or even the coffee, some sliver of the coffee beans, and just have that as a decor on pictures, so that there's some of that, it gives a visual interest to the category as people go through that. So these are ideas I'm giving you in terms of work in any niche, especially products. You can customize the photographs, take them. You need to know your WordPress. You need to know where these photographs live on your WordPress site, and then make changes to them. And put them back. Upload them right back, the same name, everything, so that when the picture is called, it will have the new picture that you made for that and customize for your. I don't expect the website designer to go through all that hassle, and if he does, then he deserves to get a few $100s to $1,000 for a website that has a good domain name, keyword research, and has these little details in there. That is worth the money, because you will make the money back from that. Expression machines here, and again the nice white background, which is just so good, especially on this with his theme, and it really looks good. The lettering below the product titles are very nice. So all in all, it fits. It's very good. So again, all of what I'm showing you is much better than what we saw, um, in terms of the coffee thing here. So you get my idea. You see all these wonderful machines. It looks good, shiny, stainless steel. Everything is like top notch. And then you have the coffee stuffs. That stuff here on the coffee is like, okay. So let's go into the blog. The blog, you see what happens here. The blog it doesn't take care that there's an image in each item. A site like this is very easy to create, like a standard featured image. There's plugins for that on WordPress. This is a WordPress powered site. So there's no reason to not have images here. I mean, it just looks unfinished. It looks stupid, plain and simple. Again, what you want to get for $99, right? But this, again, you should never leave anything without an image. It has a spot for an image. It's not like you just put the text there, which would have been fine. But since it has the space reserved for an image, there's no image there. Have WordPress put in an automatic image, set one up that promotes the site. Your logo here and put some coffee bean here and some coffee beans up here, right? You make a nice little image with your logo, and that would have been fine, But I mean, better than this here, and that had an image. Okay, so again, with the blog, you don't have to worry about the way it looks or lays out, because it's the blog. There's one big problem, though, that I don't like what he did. So I'm going to go here to this French press. How to use a French press perfect coffee. Okay, so he has the video there. I'm sure it's going to tell you how to do it and all of that. He has below that some Amazon So basically, the blog, he set up the blog to promote these items. So here it has the Amazon. What I would have preferred was that he have a link below, have some words here, and a link to the product on the site before sending them off to Amazon. Some people still, they just want to get more information. They see it there, and there's no reason not to have this product on this site like you have the others. You see? Because what are you trying to say? Are you saying that this will produce sales? This will just a video and then having the Amazon related products works better than having this product on the site? You can get the treatment like you get the coffee makers here. Here you got this coffee maker. So you see, so do you think that method works better than this one? See, because I would have had them. Yeah, I like using blogs on a site like this, on a product site, and have the blog bring traffic. There's certain things you can do with the blog. There's certain SEO and other advantages of that blog being on the product site, which I think you should use the blog also to bring traffic from the blog into your products on the website. Because again, if you're going to send them, just send them off to Amazon, and what's the point? You understand? You're making this whole website just to have them go to Amazon. What you're doing to your customers are the following, and you're going to affect the internet marketing business this way. You're downgrading your site. Your site is nothing. You're just there to remind them, hey, this is on Amazon. You don't really need to be here. You should be on Amazon. Amazon, you'll find everything, because everything we have here, it's on Amazon. See? That's what you're telling the public. And what impact that will have is you can grab them for one or two products, but after that, they're going to Amazon. So all you're doing is getting customers from Amazon. And you'll have to always be looking for traffic, because they won't be coming back to your site. So I think that product sites like this, you really need to provide value on your site, because you want that customer to come back to your site, and when they need a new one, a replacement, they want to upgrade to something better, they need to know that your site's the place to come. Okay, and that opens up opportunities for you to explore other niches, and those niches you can have in the blog or in another section, our other websites, our other product sites, and you can start listing as you develop other product sites, and your users, people who come here for coffee, then can come and look at your other sites. And it's best to use other sites to expand from, and in this case, from the coffee cup and the coffee machine, to expand outward. What else is near the coffee machine that we would go? The next thing with your coffee you have is toast, right? So the natural next block for you to have is the toaster one. And that's the one that people they have a toaster one too. I'm going to go there too. After I get my coffee maker, I'll visit the toaster site. So if you're buying this website or considering something like this, you really need to consider what value you can place on this website to make the customer want to come back again for something different, for something else that they may need, that you can provide them. Simply, that's what you want to look at. A site like that can very well make you some good money, but you want to think more of expanding than just having people visit one time and go through. What the thinking, general thinking, is almost like AdSense. What they're doing, they're trying to run it like an AdSense site, and quite possibly the guy who designed that site, who's selling that site, it's possible that he does also some AdSense site. And you can see that he's using the same idea, the same type of thinking. Okay, and that's why, remember, this guy is on, he's flipper, he's flipping websites. He's not, where's his, if he was making money at a coffee site or another product site, he wouldn't be on Flipper's flipping sites. So you gotta, as a buyer, you need to think. This guy is selling the site, he put it together, and am I going to make money at this site? Why should you think you're going to make money with that site if the guy who's selling it is not making money at it? He's just making website. He's selling it for $99. The auction price is $99, and I guess that's where he's starting out from, but he's willing to let it go for $99. It's a new site. It's only 2 months. So it took him 2 months to put it together, and he's averaging about one visit a day. So if he's not making money at that site, then how do you think that you're going to be able to make money if you don't know what you're doing? You see? So again, you shouldn't buy sites like this if you don't know what you're doing, because a site like this, it looks nice, beautiful, correct the spelling errors, fill in the blank photos, and those little things that I talked about. And after you've done all that, you're still not going to make any money. See, because you're expecting that the site will make you money, and the site will never make you money. You have to tweak it, and then you have to really spread this site all around. Use different types of strategies, which I won't be going into it for this video at least. You can connect with us, and we can help you in all sorts of manners. But the greatest thing you can do is to tie a website into the traffic multiplex system. In the traffic multiplex system, what happens is that your work in promoting a website such as that will be multiplied many times over. So instead of you taking a year or more to turn a profit and make your money back and make some extra money from that, you can decrease the time it takes and increase the amount of money that you make using traffic multiplex, leveraging traffic multiplex. And in order to do that, you really have to go to Traffic Sender, a third party who leverages their traffic packages on traffic multiplex. So you can go to trafficsender.us, and I believe they have the videos on. There's some video that shows you really what the traffic multiplex system incorporates, what it involves. There's a great video on blog promotion, which should help a lot of you. Trafficsender.us. And you can then purchase a very niche specific traffic product for your website. Okay, so that's my best advice for you. Later on webperium.com, we'll be posting some plugins that you actually can use to help build your traffic empire as well and promote that blog to the hilt. Again, you can turn a $99 blog like this into a winner, but you really need to leverage the cooperative advertising that we have, our cooperative networking that we offer at Traffic Multiplex. Other than that, combined with you're not having great experience at turning over a blog like this, making it produce, and the time and money that you may not have to invest in making that happen, I don't see how anything else would be illogical to do with that site. That's why most of the sites stay unsold on Flipper, especially these smaller $99 sites. The people have bad experiences, and it's not because really the site designer, all he's doing is designing a site. You like the design, then you get it. There's no consideration really much of it for the domain name, and then of course the rest is on you, right? Traffic multiplex makes that part, the on you part, it makes it easier, and it's a smarter thing to do. What do you think? And in fact, you can get paid for owning that website. Okay, so if you buy a website on Flipper and you want to get paid to promote that website, then you go to classiforium.com and you look for the virtual assistant jobs with training there. There are a few of them that offer a $50,000 salary job for learning the virtual assistant. You train for 5 months, and after the 5 months you qualify. Even if you don't make it to the 50,000, you'll qualify for something. And whatever that is, if it's 10,000 a year, if it's 20,000 a year, 30, whatever it is, you have to admit, hey, that's 10,000, 20, 30,000 I wasn't going to make in 5 months with the Coffee Stuffs website. Have a good day.